Hello, welcome to episode 60 of Novel Knits. My name is Dehnel and this is my YouTube channel where I talk about what I'm knitting and what I'm reading. Thank you so much for joining me today. I know it's been a while, so I'm really glad that you came back. So welcome back if you are returning. If you're new, welcome. I'm really glad that you found me. And this is just where we talk about knitting and books and anything else going on. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Everything I talk about, I'll list below in the description. Below this episode. I usually put links to my Ravelry project pages in case you're interested in yarn that I'm using or needles or anything like that, because I don't always remember to talk about all the details really well on here. And I also list the books that I talk about at the end. And then, yeah, anything else that I say I'm gonna list below, I usually try to. Sometimes I forget. So if I ever do, just feel free to leave a comment and I'll be happy to respond to any questions that you have. So I am on Ravelry as NovelKnitGirl, and I did change my Instagram handle. So I used to be NovelKnitGirl on Instagram and Ravelry, but now I am NovelKnitGirl on Ravelry, and I changed my Instagram to my name. So it is now Dehnel_KP. And I did this mainly because I have 3 Instagrams and it was just starting to feel like a lot. So I had a private personal Instagram, I had NovelKnitGirl Instagram, and then I have a small Instagram for my Etsy shop with my sister-in-law, Pencil and String, and it was just kind of feeling unwieldy. So because I can't figure out how to delete my private Instagram account, it's still there, but I just decided to make the NovelKnitGirl one sort of my full everything about me account. So you may see pictures of my family now on there, which I always did a little bit, but usually just in stories. So you might see just more anything that I'm posting in general on there. I don't post a ton, so you're not gonna be overwhelmed with the photos of my children or anything like that. But I just decided to kind of bring everything together in one space for where I'm gonna focus on any posting that I do. So yeah, so now I am Dehnel KP, and my name is spelled kind of uniquely, but it'll be listed below in the description if you are searching for me. But yeah, so today we have a lot of finished objects because there's a reason. We did go on spring break, so I had a long drive. We drove from Wisconsin to Orlando, Florida, so it was 19 hours in the car one way. So I got a lot of knitting done in the car and poolside and just in general on that trip. And then I've also been away for a while because, life is just busy, but also I didn't want to come back here until I finished my port sweater. I was tired of bringing it on and being like, well, I'm still on the sleeve. I'm, kind of stuck here. So I avoided working on it as long as I could and finished, I think, 5 other things. And I finally finished it. So the port sweater is done. And I also, I am severely lactose intolerant. And around Easter, I live in the dairy capital of the world, I think. I think it's the world, if not, it's definitely the United States. So it's very difficult for me to avoid cheese. So I use Lactaid every once in a while to just, if we're having a family dinner or we're at a restaurant, I can't really get around it. So Easter was one of those occasions. I took a Lactaid, which helps the intestinal part of being lactose intolerant, but my face just blew up into, I don't think I've had a breakout like that in my entire life. I mean, usually I get a little bit of a breakout when I use a Lactaid, but this one was like, it was unbelievable. I'm still recovering. So, that pushed me back a couple weeks because I did not feel like getting on here when like my face was just, it was bad. I'm not a super vain person. I don't have a ton of vanity about my looks, but I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling good about that. So that pushed me back another week or so. And life has just been busy. So I'm gonna stop talking about personal and we'll get to that at the very end if you're interested. And I'm gonna get into the knitting. So like I said, I have a ton of finished objects. So I'm gonna start with my, probably the one I'm most excited about. So I finished my ZickZack scarf. This is a pattern by Christy, and I started this in March of 2023 and I finished it in March of 2025. So I love this. If you've been here the last couple episodes, you know everything about it. I love this. I love the yarn. I love the pattern. I loved working on it so much. It brought me a lot of happiness and joy. This is going to be a neckwear heavy episode, so just FYI. And yeah, this is for me. The yarn is Leo and Roxy, which it's like a variegated gray called Mixteamy, and then the variegated colorful yarn is Mint Rain in the colorway Rebellions Are Built on Hope. And I just really love this. I knit until I was out of yarn, basically. So this was 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn. I think I had a little bit of each left, a little bit of the Mixteamy left, but no more of the Mint Rain. So I'm very, very happy with this. This is gonna be an awesome just throw on scarf. I take my dog out for 3 walks a day, rain, snow, sunshine, whatever, and I need lovely, beautiful, colorful neckwear. So I love this one, and I'm really, really happy with it. And it's very soft. It feels great on my skin. And yeah, I would highly recommend this pattern. It is so rhythmic. It does take, well, maybe not for everybody. It took me a few, well, I kept starting it and restarting it. Once I was working on it, I could read my knitting and it was great, but it did take me a while to like be able to read the knitting, but lovely. I'm so happy. I should probably mention that I am wearing my Surrey shirt today by Kadri. I finished this in August 2024, and I'll stand up really quick and show you. So this is actually the first time I'm wearing it. I do like the fit. I thought I was going to run out of this linen quill Pearl Soho, so I added in, no, I'm sorry, this is Sonder yarn. And a base they don't have anymore, because when I went to get some more, they didn't have it. So then I added in this linen quill at the bottom, and I actually really like the linen quill a little bit better than this base from Sonder. But yeah, it's nice. It's got a split hem here, and yeah, it fits me better than I thought it did. I've also been exercising, so it might just fit my body a little bit better now, just because I'm more active, I'm not sure. But yeah, I really, really, really love just the way the top of this sweater looks, and it's got such a great invisible seam up here. Like, this was a joy to knit. I would knit it again. I would be happier with it in one color, but I actually think since I had to substitute some yarn in, I'm really happy with the decision I made, and I think it looks cute. I think I like it. So here it is. All right, my next finished object is, I have a lot here today. I finished my Mahogany run sock. So these 2 projects are basically all I worked on in the car to and from Orlando. So I think I had just passed the heel of the first sock done, and then I finished the second sock. So yeah, they are done. These are 72 stitches, magic loop. They're pretty long. Like, this is the end of my sock blocker because these are for my sister for Christmas. The yarn that I used is Nomadic Yarns Tweedy Base in the colorway The Diamond of the Season, which is a Bridgerton reference. And I enjoyed making these socks a lot. I don't really know that I would make it again. Off the blocker, I don't know, they just didn't make me that happy off the blocker. Yeah, these were fun. It's a really easy pattern. It's basically like a rib with some yarn overs. You know, it's a great pattern. It really is. I'm just not sure that I will make it again. Not that I make a lot of sock patterns again, but that's just how I'm feeling about it. So yeah, these are done. I started these on September 24th of 2024, and I finished them on April 7th of 2025. So within a year, that's always a good thing. So now I have 1 pair of socks ready for Christmas, at least for my sister. Next, okay, I don't know how to even show this one. Okay, so I finished the Snowfall sweater scarf by Knitatude, Chantal. I used Lion brand Wool Ease in the Icicle color. I started this on December 30th of 2024 and I finished it on April 14th of 2025. So not too bad. I think I know how to put this on. This could be embarrassing on camera. I think, no, that's not right. Is it though? So I have mixed feelings about this one. So you start on one end and you do the ribbing and then you do this, why am I showing it like this? You do this purl stitch pattern and it gets further apart. And yeah, it's nice. It's really nice. And then you do the same thing basically on the other side. Then you mattress stitch together, which I worked on this really hard and I'm not super pleased with how it turned out, but I can only do what I can do, right? I redid it several times and this was the best. I mean, it doesn't look that bad on, but it doesn't look that good either. Okay, so I think the way, I've been watching her video because she shows how to put it on. Sorry, I should put my face in the camera. Maybe this one is slightly better with the stitching. Yeah, I think this one's better. Okay, so let's see. I'm doing this terribly. Yeah, this is wrong. Please hold. Okay, so there is more than one way that you can wear this, but this is kind of like the way that Chantal shows, which is kind of like this. So kind of. It was fun to make. I don't know if I will wear this. It does feel a little big, like it stretched out a little bit while I was blocking. And then it kind of, I mean, I could see throwing this on for a work day, definitely. But yeah, it feels a little floppy here. Feels nice on though, but this is the area of my body that I get cold. So I'll have to see if this ends up having a place in my wardrobe. And if it doesn't, it may get unraveled at some point in time and turn into something else. But I'm gonna give it a try. I'll at least give it a try through next winter and see what happens. I mean, I suppose I could do something more like this. So we'll see. The jury's out on this one, but it is done. And you know, the color is nice and it is, for what it is, it's adorable. And I'll just have to see if I wear this because I'm not sure. I've made a couple things that I thought this will be great to throw on for a work meeting because I work full-time from home right now. And I have not done that yet. So maybe this will be one of those things, but it is giving me quite a bit of warmth, I will say. So if I'm looking for warmth, this might be a perfect thing. So I'm gonna play around with this. I'll see if I use it. If I don't use it next winter, I'll probably unravel it and make it into something that I might use more. So, but it's cute, it is cute. Okay, now I'm gonna take it off because it is a little too warm. We finally are getting some nice weather here in southeastern Wisconsin. Which is good. We need it. It's been dreary for a very long time. Okay, I told you guys this was gonna be neckwear heavy, and it is. I casted on a Sophie scarf by PetiteKnit on March 20th, and I finished it on April 22nd. And why I made this scarf was twofold. One, I had this yarn from Little Foxes called Goblin King, which it is one of those skeins of yarn that I loved so much in the skein because the pink, the gray, the cream, the blue, like it was just wonderful. But everything I was trying to make with it was not working. A shawl, just using it held single was not working. Holding it with something else was not working. Like I tried like 3 things and nothing worked. So then I thought, why don't I hold it double and see about a Sophie scarf, because I really like that pattern and I would like to make one. So I made it. And I made like the longer version. And I think it works. It's cute. You know, it's great. It's not my favorite. I think I like a more solid color for sure, but it's here. It exists. I was able to use this yarn. I believe this is an MCN base. It is so soft. Like it was gonna be, if I used this yarn for socks, they were gonna be fuzzy and it wasn't gonna hold up really well. I knew it wouldn't make a hat, you know, so I think this was the perfect solution for this yarn. I think I'm showing you the wrong, nope, I was showing you the right side. So I think this was the perfect solution for this yarn, and the Sophie scarf is so nice, and I feel like I could have 50 Sophie scarves and be happy. So I might keep this one for myself. I may give this to my sister-in-law if she likes it. I've tried to make her a couple small kind of neckerchiefs because she wants one, and she thinks everything is very itchy. And this feels very soft to me, but I'm not sure the colors will work for her. If not, I'll keep it. I have no problems keeping it. It's adorable, it's cute, and it works. And I love this pattern. I'll make another one. So, oh, and then I also finished my small fry scarf. This is a pattern by Samantha Guerin, and I showed this last time. And let me see. The yarn I use is Vivid Yarn Studio in the color Dreamer. This is about a skein and a half of DK weight yarn. The pattern calls for sport weight yarn, but I used DK and it worked out great. I started this on February 10th, 2026, and I finished it on March 22nd. I really enjoyed making this. As I said last time, it looks so simple, but you do need to pay attention at least a little bit. And I think this is actually the right side. You do have to pay attention because the pattern just changes a little bit, and each row is a little different because there's increases and decreases. But overall, I'm really, really happy with this one. This is probably going to be a gift because I don't, well, no, I kind of like it actually. I can't keep them all. I mean, I could, but I think this is going to be a gift. It's a really nice size. It's really, really lovely. I don't know, I don't think I'll make this one again just because there are so many small scarves out right now that I feel like I could try something else and have just as much of a nice time knitting it as I did with this. But I enjoyed this a lot. I would highly recommend this pattern, and it makes a perfect small neck scarf. Like this is actually perfect. Maybe I will make one for me because it fits me really nice. I really like it. Okay, so that is not quite it for finished objects. I have one more, and I'm not wearing it because it is very warm out, and also because it is still very wet. It is in the middle of the blocking process, but you'll be proud of me, I hope. I wove in the ends and I blocked it, and it's still quite wet. But I finished my port sweater by Ozetta, and I'm so happy with it. It fits perfectly. So here it is. I'll try to show it without making myself too damp. So I will wear it or do something so you can see it better when it's not still drying. I'm so happy with it. So I will talk about it briefly. The last time we spoke, I was afraid the arms were gonna be too long. They're perfect. I added about 2.5 to 3 inches of ribbing on the cuffs, and the fit is fantastic. Yeah, both of them. They're both done. And then I did so I finished one sleeve, I did the collar, I tried it on, I was like, yes, let's do this. And then I got stuck on Sleeve Island. It took me a whole week to finish the second sleeve and cuff. I did not do any tubular bind offs. I just bound off in pattern, which I am fine with. I do want to try either a tubular or Italian bind off. I have mohair on my face now at some point this year, but this was not, I was having a hard enough time motivating myself to finish this sweater that this was not the one I was going to do it on. So I'm going to take this off my lap now because it is so wet still, but I am so happy. I'll try to take some pictures of myself wearing it once it's dry and put them on my Instagram so you guys can see, but it's great. It's oversized, it's beautiful, I love everything about it. So I'm so pleased with it now that it's done. and I can't wait to wear it. So maybe I'll even try to do like a fun photo session because I'm really excited about this sweater. I think it's gonna be a staple for me. So the yarn I used was the exact same yarn that the designer used to make the sweater. So I used Biche Bouche Le Petite Silk and Mohair in the gray color, I believe. I can't read my own writing because it's terrible. And then I used Wool Dreamers Moda in the natural color. So I'm sorry, it is very, very sheddy mohair. It is all over me right now. So yeah, I'll have to get used to that. So I started this on September 20th of 2024 and I finished it May 5th. So sweaters are definitely not my favorite thing to knit, but I was surprised this one took me so long because it was not a hard knit and it was like, I really wanted it. And I'm so happy I have it now. So I'm just surprised I got kind of caught up with some, like, not wanting to work on it. But I guess considering where my mind has been the last couple of months, it's not all that surprising. Because my brain has been all over the place. All right, so now I'm going to show you the whips that I have been working on recently. So obviously this is not all of my whips, not all of my works in progress, but this is what I've been putting into in addition to everything I just showed that I finished. I've been productive. I really have been. All right, let me see if I can find the first one. Okay. No, that's not the right one. Okay, this is the right bag. So I finished one of my Gravel Path DK socks. This is a pattern by Twin Stitches Designs. The yarn I'm using is Tia's Terrific Threads in the color Pale Beneath the Tan, and I started this on January 2nd, 2025. Apparently I wanted to start the year with some color. So these are just a pair of shorty socks. I'm not positive if these are for me or for someone else. Probably for me. I don't know anybody else in my life who would really love highlighter yellow. But this is a really nice DK pattern. It's got this lovely pearl seed stitch, maybe, like border. And it did call for a short row heel. I just did the Fish Lips Kiss because I know it. But it did call for like a different short row heel, but I was happy with that. So it's coming along nicely. And I did, because, you know, I was trying to keep myself moving, I did cast on for the second sock. So I think I'm about halfway through the cuff. And yeah, I really enjoy working with this yarn. I really enjoy the fun highlighter yellow and all the other colors. I really love it. So these hopefully will be done soon because they're DK and they should go much faster than they're going. I'm just slow right now. So these are Magic Loop, I believe on a size 4 needle, and I am doing 44 stitches, I think. Yeah, I think that's what the size I'm doing. I have a US women's size 8.5 foot, so I kind of feel like it's an average size for socks, because like within like a ½ inch either way, that kind of will stretch to accommodate. So I like that for me, because then I can use my sock size to make other people's feet. However, most of my family members have much larger feet than me. The people that I make shoes, or I don't make shoes, I make socks. The people that I make socks for in my life have pretty large feet. So I don't know, just making my size or smaller always feels like a treat. Okay, next, this was a random cast on for me. I did purchase the yarn for it. So as soon as I saw it, apparently I'm very into neckwear right now. I think that will be just my, I don't have a picture of it. That'll be my theme for a while because neckwear is what I want to make. So I started the Thru Lines scarf by Andrea Mowry, and I purchased yarn from Sonder Yarn. I purchased, this one is called Wake Up Call, I think. This is Under the Duvet. And this one is fresh sheets. Now you will notice maybe how weirdly these are skeined up. Well, I was using my Swift and my ball winder to make what should have been a lovely cake of yarn like this. The yarn flew off the yarn winder. Not once, but twice, maybe even a third time. So I don't know if it was this slippery yarn or if it's my yarn winder. I have no idea. But yeah, we had some frustration. So then I would just hand wind the rest of it, and it was a thing. So anyway, I started the through lines. Now, I was really excited about this. I'm less excited now, but mostly just because it's gonna be an ordeal. So here it is. I do like it. I've made a few mistakes that you may or may not be able to see, but I'm not fixing them. I have some random purl rows that should not be included. So from about here on out, this is what the scarf is supposed to look like. So it's nice. There's some texture, there's slip stitches. I like the way the colors look, but because I am not good at carrying yarn, and she does not really give instructions about if you're supposed to carry yarn or not. I am not. So I'm going to be weaving in all these ends. I'll probably do a couple more repeats and then just have a weave-in session to just kind of keep up with some of the weaving in as I go. Otherwise, it's gonna make me very unhappy when I get to the end of this project. But the yarn feels incredible. It's gonna be lovely. I really just wanted to make the scarf. So I don't know if this is gonna be a for me scarf, if it's gonna be for somebody else. I just know that Sandra Yarn had this kit. I liked the colors together. I was really jazzed about the whole project, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. And obviously I tend to like this color, right? It's a color I like. So yeah, so I casted that on April 23rd. And I really don't work on it very often. I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just saying it's presented a few challenges for me getting started, and I am not a perfectionist, but I do have a little perfectionist like piece of my brain that says you need to start that over because you're not going to be happy with those two purl bumps that aren't supposed to be there. However, nobody else is going to know they're there. I mean, you guys do because I told you, but nobody else is going to see that and go, oh, those are mistakes. So I'm trying really hard to get over it because I know myself, and I know that like that's probably why I'm not jazzed about it. So I probably should just tear it out and start over because it's always going to be something I think about. But I'm trying really hard not to. Okay, let's keep going. So then, oh dear, I have so much around here. So for my book socks club that I'm doing with Sophie of Cozy Meadow Knits, I'm still working on my bride socks. So this is the bride book. I've read it at least 5 or 6 times. Huge, big fan. I'll probably read it again because I'm in a little bit of a reading slump. And I finished my first bride sock. So this, I decided to make these socks for my husband, which is funny because they're bride themed, but you know, I guess it kind of makes sense. I guess I could take my stitch marker off. But the last time I showed these socks, I was apparently where that stitch marker is. So yeah, this is the Collection of Columns pattern by Nancy Wheeler. So I've used one of her column patterns on each side of the sock. And the yarn I'm using, this black, is Leadingman Fiber Arts in the colorway Darkest Hour. It's just a lovely black yarn. Like there's nothing special about it, but it is a great black. I just really love it. And maybe I just love that it's called Darkest Hour and that makes me happy. And then the main color yarn is, I'm just gonna say it is Ex Libris Fibers. It was dyed by Rita, who is the dyer behind Ex Libris Fibers, but before she started her business, and it is called Untamed. So I really, really, really think this works for me. And it should work for my husband too. He'll like these. These are going to be his Christmas gift. So I finished the first sock and I need to cast on the second sock. I've been a little, you'll see I've casted on other socks instead, but I want to finish these because I love working on them. And I already have yarn picked out for my next book socks club pairing, which I'll show at the end, but I'm really excited about them. So I do want to finish these and get these off my needles, but I'm enjoying working on them. And Nancy's pattern is really wonderful as always. This is a old project bag. I don't even know if it has a shop name attached to it. It does not, but it is my Star Wars Sugar Skull bag and I love it. Okay, next work in progress. Okay, so I am making, for those of you who have been here for a while, I'm not really I'm not a religious person. I grew up heavy in religion and I've moved away from it a lot, but I do like the concept of a prayer shawl. However, I've been given prayer shawls. I've never made one. But I kind of feel like if it's not someone who's going to wear a shawl, I wanted to do something different. So I have started a couple different pairs of prayer socks. So this is the first prayer sock that I'm working on. This is just something I decided to do because I'm basically doing the same thing as a prayer shawl, right? Like I'm thinking about the person as I'm knitting for them. I don't necessarily pray for them, but I think about them and kind of while I'm working on the sock. So this is the first one and I really am enjoying this. So the yarn is Nomadic Yarns and it is the Tweedy sock base again. And the colorway is called Book Boyfriend and I started this on April 8th. So what I'm doing is it's just a vanilla sock and then when I get to the color change, I'm just slipping one stitch, which makes it look a little bit like it's got a little pattern to it. Yeah, and I'm doing a heel flap and gusset. Obviously this is Magic Loop and this one I did not cut the yarn. So you can just see that this green, the way that the colors, the stripes lined up, the green just ends up being a little bit thicker there, but it maintains the pattern really well. And yeah, I'm really enjoying working on these. These are probably socks that I'm enjoying the most right now, just because they're basically just knit round and round and round. And then every once in a while you get to slip your stitches and it's really fun. So yeah, these are great. And then I started another pair of prayer socks for the same person. I'm planning to make them 3 pairs. And I started a second pair of Hibernal socks. So this is a pattern by Summer Lee. I made these last year, a pair for myself, and I love them so much. It is a mock cable pattern, and I have this one-of-a-kind green from the Creative Knitter that I pulled out and I cast it on. So here's what they look like. And I'm enjoying these a lot. I did mess up the pattern a little bit right in here, but nobody's gonna know that. I don't know if you can really, this yarn does feel a little thick for some reason, but I love this pattern. I will make these again. It's just such a relaxing knit and just, I don't know, I love how they look. I wore my Hibernal socks last week and I was like, I love these socks. Like they're really, really nice. And these are the fingering weight. She also has a DK weight one, which I might also get because I think these would be just as wonderful in DK. So here they are one more time. I think I have 2 more decreases on my gusset and then I'm onto the foot. So that's it for my prayer socks that I'm working on. And I'm kind of just hoping to get these done by Christmas. So, and then I'll cast on 1 more prayer sock for this person and then we will be done with prayers. I'm just joking. All right, and then I think that might be it. Oh no, I have 1 more. I used to be the kind of person who never made the same pattern twice. Like I would be like, oh, like that was fun, but I'm done. But now I have found a few patterns like the Hibernal socks, like the Sophie scarf, and now the ZickZack scarf where I just love knitting it so much that I want to keep going. So it took me a couple of tries to find the right color combination, and this is the one I landed on. I think I'm happy with it. I don't think I'm gonna go back now. So the yarns that I'm using are a Busy Life, yes, a Busy Life in the color Scree, which is just like a beige, and then Hue Loco in the color Ember. This is awesome. I love this colorway. And when I started it, my first concern was that it was gonna look like candy stripes, but it does not. I think it's gonna be great. So here's where we're at. I love it. I love it. It's so pretty. And that Ember with those pops of hot pink that you're just not expecting makes the knitting so much fun. Yeah, so I'm not going to talk about this a ton because I already talked about this ZickZack scarf. It's a pattern by Christy, Kamm. Highly recommend. I mean, if you like just knitting with, a couple increases and decreases every once in a while, it is a lot of fun. And it's helping me get through some sock yarn as well. I'm just loving everything about working on it. So I had started this with a self-striping yarn, and it wasn't looking great. There was it's hard to explain, but it was definitely coming up with like a weird pattern where the colors would kind of disappear only on one side of the scarf, I think, as like the color changes were happening. So I wasn't really pleased with that. And then I tried something else, but I don't remember what. No, I think I restarted that self-striping one more than once, and I think it's because I really wanted to use this as the solid, and the self-striping just had a color also that was too close to this, that it was just not working. So I tried it twice and probably got to about this, maybe a little less far than this, and then when I started this one, I just was like, yeah, this is it, we're committing, this is it. So this will likely be a gift. I don't know for who yet, but there we go. Everything's falling on the ground today. But this will more than likely be a gift, and it'll be fun. So hopefully this will not take me 3 years. That is my hope. I have a lot of Star Wars bags. And I have a lot of floral tattoos, so I guess you know what I'm into. All right, so that is it for my current works in progress. As soon as I get a free needle or finish another pair of socks, I am going to be casting on my next book socks club. Is that what it's called? Yeah, book socks club, because they're book socks and then we're a club. Yes, because we're making socks to go with our books. Thank you. Okay, so my next pick is The Favorites. I've read this book. I'm kind of slowly rereading it again because I love it so much. And I found this yarn on Etsy. I just put in black and gold yarn just to see what would come up. A lot of it looked very bumblebee-ish. But I've never heard of this company before. It's called Comfy Kids Designs. So that's the tag, and the color is Lilac Branches. So there's a little bit of purple with the gold and the black, and I'm gonna pair this also with the Darkest Hour colorway. It's gonna be like my book sock. I apparently like all dark books, but isn't that so good? Isn't that so good? So excited for these. I haven't decided on my pattern yet, but I'm so excited for these. These are definitely for me. I love this book. I've been listening to some figure skating podcasts lately. So if you're interested in like following at all with the Olympic season ahead, Scoreography is a really good one. And they're like just always very positive. They don't get into like really the gossipy stuff. If you like the gossipy stuff, oh, what's it called? I can't remember, but the one with Adam Rippon and Ashley Wagner, who are both former figure skaters. That one's pretty fun. So if you're interested, just if you enjoy the sport and want to know more about like the complexities of it going into the Olympics, check out either of those podcasts. That was my little free plug for you. All right, so other things that I have been doing. I have a lot of swatches here because I really want to cast on another sweater. And yes, I have 3 on the needles that I could work on, but I want more. So the first sweater, and I'll put in pictures of the sweaters I'm talking about here, that I started swatching for is the Sailor Swift top by Veronica Lindbergh. I've been seeing this one, I think I purchased it last year, and it's a kind of summer tank top. It looks really cute, and it's striped, and I had bought yarn that I thought would work really great. So I swatched for it. And you guys, this is not what I want. This is very Halloween-y. This reminds me of Herman Munster. This is just not gonna work. So this is 2 skeins of Pearl Soho that I purchased for this top. And I thought, I don't want a Halloween summer tank top. So I put that one away. And I said, no thank you. So then I pulled out some other yarn that I had in my stash. Oh goodness, I'm not remembering the dyer right now, but it's beautiful yarn that I've had for a long time. And I thought, well, let's play around with this. And I like this. I definitely like this, but I wanted more of a linen quill base. So while I like the colors a lot, the base, I think I don't really want like a merino MCN for a summer top. So like color, yes, base, no. So what I started thinking about was I went on the internet and I purchased another skein of linen quill. This is the color Pale Oats. So I thought this, I can't remember what this green is, but this green and Pale Oats might work better. So I'm gonna swatch this for my Sailor Swift and see what I think. I love black and white, so I could also do the black with this, but I kind of have to be careful, right? Because I have a lot of black and white and I don't want to be that person that's always knitting black and white. So I think I'll swatch this first, see how it goes. And if I like it, I'll go with it. And if I don't, then I'll go black and white because I know I'll wear the black and white. It's just, you know, whatever. But then I was thinking, I did another swatch for the Maven top by Rachel Ramo. I don't know if I said her name right. I'll put it on the screen if I'm wrong. And I used this yarn that I had from Les Garçons. This is Alex's Red, and I like it, but I also don't. For a summer top, I feel this is kind of a very autumn color, and I just, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think it's right for that project. So then I thought, when I purchased this, I got another skein of this, and I thought maybe this would be the Maven top, which, I mean, I'm going from burgundy to black, which doesn't make a ton of sense, but in my brain it does. I think that brings it to a more of a 3 seasons top for me. Yeah, in my brain. We'll see what happens. I clearly haven't made a decision. So there will be more swatching going on, but one or both of those sweaters will be cast on. And then the other thing that I would like to cast on is kind of a short sleeve vesty top by Thea Coleman. I think it's called the Cranberry Goss. And the yarn that I swatched up for that, which I haven't blocked yet, so I really just got to making the swatch and putting it aside, but I'm using Harrisville Designs for this one. And I don't know if you'll be able to see, but it's really got like the purple going through it. I think this is Talk Radio, and I think this will be perfect for that. So I'm definitely feeling dark colors right now. I would definitely say that for sure. But yeah, I'm probably the most excited for this one. I also want to cast on a million others, but I thought maybe starting with these three would be good, because I also have, I can't even recall their names, but I have 3 other sweaters on the needles right now. And I did actually cast on the collar for my season sweater by Ozetta as well. So I just didn't show that today because the collar is not that exciting, but I really want to get back into sweaters. I just don't want them to sit on my needles for as long. But when you have as many socks going on as I do, and those I take with me everywhere, the sweaters just take a little bit longer. And apparently the neckwear is not going away. I am going to have so much neckwear. I don't know. I'm going to have to find people who want to wear it. I am planning to make some for my friends, obviously, that we're going to US Figure Skating Nationals in January. So I'll bring some options for them to choose from. But yeah, I'm going to have a lot of neckwear, but gotta go where the knitting takes you. That's my whole philosophy this year, is let's go where the knitting is taking me. All right, book club. So if you're not interested in book club or personal, I will see you next time. Thanks for joining me today. If you are, book club will not be very long because I don't remember most of the books I'm going to talk about. And then I'm just going to talk very little personal at the very end. So yeah, but if you're going, I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you're staying, let's chat books. You'd think I would have 30 books with how long I've been away, but I don't. I am still 6 books ahead of my reading goal for the year. I'm hoping to read 100 books this year like I did last year. So I'm still in a good place. I'm not like in danger of not finishing books. So I finished In the Likely Event, which was a reread by Rebecca Yarros. I gave that 4 stars. I thought it was good the second time around. It's probably my favorite of her books that is in Fourth Wing. I don't know why, I just really like it. I read The Fall Risk by Abby Jimenez. That was like a real quick novella, and I like that. I gave it 3 stars. I don't really remember it, but I do remember enjoying it. I read Good Morning Monster by Catherine Gildner, and I gave that 3 stars. I don't have the words to talk about it right now, but it was good. It was, I believe, a psychologist talking about some of her clients that she's worked with and kind of working through some issues. And it was good. I would read it again. I did listen to it in the car and I may have fallen asleep at one point in time. Not her fault, just me being tired, but it was good. I would definitely recommend it if you're looking for something like that. Check into it if it sounds good to you. And then I read When in Rome by Sarah Adams. I gave that 3 stars. It was just a contemporary romance and it was nice. 3 Ordinary Girls by Tim Brady. I gave that 4 stars. It was about 3 Dutch teenagers during the war and how they kind of helped fight against the Nazis. Good stuff. I really enjoyed that. Famous Last Words by Gillian McAllister. I gave that 3 stars and I have to say I was really disappointed. I read her previous book and I thought it was so good and so fresh, and this book I just did not love. I read it and I gave it 3 stars, but I would recommend the other book, which you have to suspend your disbelief a little bit more for, but I thought it was really much better than this book. Then I read Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I gave that 4 stars. It was very sweet. That was her most recent release and I thought it was good. I really liked it. The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. I gave that 4 stars. It was really good. So one of my friends from college, we talk on Marco Polo. There's 3 of us. We talk on Marco Polo every day. And she had been listening to this podcast. She read the book and she just kind of was telling me how much it had helped her. And I thought, well, okay, I'll listen to it. You guys, it's fantastic, especially for someone like me who's a parent and you're interacting with people you wouldn't normally, right? Because you're in places with your kids' friends, like baseball games, dance competitions, all this stuff. And it really does help you kind of deal with things, like with social situations, family situations, and like let them do what they're gonna do and then let me handle it the way I'm gonna handle. Like, let me do what I'm going to do and I'll let you do what you're going to do. And I'm simplifying it so much because I don't want to take away the magic of reading this book if you're interested, but I loved it and I thought it was really good. Possibly too long, but I also think that when you're writing books, you know, you gotta get every thought out of your head that you have. So really recommend it though if you think something like that would be helpful for you to hear, because I definitely get to the point where sometimes I feel left out of things, but then when I think about it, I'm like, well, I wouldn't really want to go to dinner with those people, so why do I feel bad that I'm left out? But I still do. So it really helped process some of that. So I don't know, it's interesting. Okay, and then finally I read The Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry, and I only gave it 3 stars. And you guys know that I love Emily Henry. I did not think this was her best work. It had too many echoes of 2 other books I've read before, and it did not have as much of her really great wit that I come to really look forward to in her books. So for those reasons, I only gave it 3 stars. Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't have read it, and I think you should all read it if you want to and make your own opinion, but for me, I would go back. If I was an Emily Henry first timer, this is not the one I would start with. So that's just my opinion. Okay, currently I'm reading The Ministry of Time by Kellyanne. Oh my gosh, I cannot read my own handwriting. Bradley. I am liking this book so much, but I am not drawn to it. So when I listen to it, I'm really happy and enjoying it and super interested in it, but I'm not like thinking about it when I'm not reading it. So it's been taking a long time and I'm kind of stuck on it. I'm getting close to the end. I think I have 2 hours left in my listen, and then I will be moving on, and I need like just something to keep me going here, because this one has been a little bit of a slog and I'm listening to it. And usually I get through things I'm listening to very quickly. In the book's defense though, I've gotten very, very, very into figure skating podcasts in the last month. So it's been competing with that. I think I'm all caught up on all my podcasts now though, so we'll be okay. And like the skating world, the season, we're basically on a break now until the fall. So there's not gonna be that much for podcasters to talk about. And then I'm still reading, I brought it down here so you guys can see how pretty it is. I'm still reading Sense and Second Degree Murder by Tirzah Price. I love how this book looks. I am finally getting close. I would say the first third of this book was very much a slog for me. I was not enjoying it, and now it's picked up and I'm like, yes, I do like her writing a lot, but it took me a long time to get there. The chapters are long, so sometimes before bed, I can't make it through a whole chapter if I'm very tired, but I'm enjoying it and I'm back in it. So yeah, that one needed to get read. So I should be finished with it by the next time we meet, especially if it's 6 to 8 weeks again. So that's it for book club today. I'm really enjoying reading. I have to get back. I need to get through The Ministry of Time. It's good. It is so good. I think my brain is just in too many different places right now. Like I said, we went on spring break and we went to Orlando. We stayed at this nice little resort, and we were with another family, and we went to Hollywood Studios for Disney one day, and that was a lot of fun. Just had a great time, and I had like the best day, like open to close, best day. We got to do everything we wanted to, and it was just a lot of fun. We went to lunch at, I think it was called like Woody's Roundup or something, and it was really, I mean, our kids are not small, but they still had a great time because while you're eating, you'll hear like something say like, everybody, Andy's coming, and then you pretend you're a toy and you don't move, and it was adorable. It was fun. Made me feel like I had little kids again. And I have been skating. I've been ice skating. I started going to the rink twice a week and just getting back out there, and it has been so much fun. I am sweaty and hot afterwards. It's definitely the best workout I've gotten in 20 years, and I'm having a great time. I fall every once in a while and it hurts. Much worse than it used to. But yeah, it's been awesome. It's been really good for my mental health, and I've been really, really happy. I've also been taking some steps to get back into coaching. I won't really do it much until Claire is finished with her dance career. But I'm taking steps to get accredited again through US Figure Skating, and talking to none of us are old, people I used to work with, and my old coach specifically, who has a really great reputation and you know, just kind of talking about what I need to do and where I might fit in, because I've been gone for a long time from the coaching world. But it's nice to be taking steps in a direction that I think will make me really happy. I've also been writing. I will say, if there's one thing that I can say that's been positive about this current US administration, is that it has forced me to finally do the things I've been wanting to do in a long time. So I'm skating, I'm writing, I am working out, I am doing all the things to avoid having to think too deeply about what's happening in our country. So, so I guess no, I can't even say I'm grateful, but like, it's happening. So I've been writing a little bit. I mean, it's not great, just like any skill, I have to practice, and hopefully I'll get better the more I practice. I do have an advanced degree in writing, so hopefully it'll come back, but it may not. Either way, it's been cathartic and fun, and yeah. And then, you know, in general, life is just busy right now. Baseball season has started up in full swing. Milo's got multiple games a week. He practices if he's not playing. Yeah, he's really busy. Claire this week has dance recitals and tryouts for her dance team for her senior year in high school. That'll be next year. And she just started a new job. So it's been very, very, very busy around here. And I've been exhausted, which is good because it means I'm sleeping. All right, so that's it. I've been yapping on here for a long time, but I'm really happy that you chose to spend your time with me. And if you made it all the way to the end, thank you so much. I know I say it a lot, but I truly am grateful for all of you. And thanks for being my knitting friends. And yeah, you all are, I'm trying to be better about coming on here more often, but it's just been really, really busy. But I'll try to come back in the next month if I can. And if not, I will be back, I promise. So I hope that you are having so much fun with your knitting. Please let me know what you're working on, what you're reading, and yeah, how you're getting through the days. Sunshine helps, right? All right, thanks everyone, bye.